Alright, YouTube, this is Missouri Rockhound. I posted a video yesterday about some flint napping that I do, and then I use this porphyry, and a couple of the guys, I think Pestle Man 1951, and I think Alabama Jones, was asking about what I considered porphyry. Well, if that's not porphyry, I don't know what it is. I mean, I know you guys said that you guys thought that porphyry had a subconchoidal fracture. It didn't work real well, that it was a igneous rock, and well, it is, but like I've said before, this is really the only place I know of in the entire area where it is of quality enough to work. I've got a couple spalls here, and you can see that it has a fracture, and here's some of the points that I've made out of it even. Get this nice guy. He's kind of on the thick side, but that's because I wasn't really paying attention. I made this Saturday at Heritage Day, and I did a lot more talking than I did flint napping, so that's kind of why it's a little thicker. But I've got a little scraper here. I made a pair of adzes down there the other day. I had to do some repair on some of the stuff that the guy next to me was doing. Nice beveled knife. It works awesome. I mean, it flakes just like any other thing, and pressure flakes just as well. Here's a preform that I started on and didn't finish. It's a nice flake. Here's a flake knife that I made. Kind of humpbacked and lay, monofaced, unifaced. And like I said, the natives made stuff out of this, and this is just some of the stuff that I've got. I imagine this was probably a spalling rock. It's been napped all over, and you can see, it's a finer quality than that stuff. Here's a scraper. That stuff is really fine. That's just as smooth as any Burlington I've ever seen. It's just really dark. Here's part of a tool. It looked like it would have been an adze or a hoe probably, and it's broken use. Here's a little flake knife. And, this comes from one area, and here's an axe made out of it, a hafted axe. And that's the first piece I ever found of it. And that's a really nice piece. I don't know if you guys can see that. But anyway, it is porphyry, and they did use it, and that's why I use it. I mean, some of it doesn't work the best. Something like this I'll probably have a little trouble with, freeze cracks and different stuff like that. I think you can see a seam right there in that piece. But, it still works pretty good. And here's a spall that I was working on. Here's a little bit a darker piece. It's kind of more shale-like, but it's still all porphyry. But, and this place, we've, down here in Winona, we've got all kinds of different places, on the river that has these formations made out of porphyry, and a lot of it isn't nappable. It's nice flowers, but anyway, a lot of it isn't nappable, but this place where I get this stuff at, it's the only place that I know of where I find it in such quality and such quantity, and I still have, 10 pounds of it or so that I haven't even gone through yet because, well, I've been busy, but anyway, it works great. I like it, and I hope to make a video here soon of me doing some kind of flint napping or another, but I figured I'd show you guys. This is what I call porphyry, and that's what even a geologist says. It's porphyry. I don't know if you can see the shine of the crystals in there, but it's got them, but it happens to work. But anyway, I got to get off of here, so we'll talk to you guys later.